Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome to Late Night in the Heartland. Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. We're here 11 until 1. You make the agenda. You are the show. So nice to have you here. We appreciate each and every one of you. We have not opened the call line yet. Thank you to Aaron, who watches working overnight in the hospital. We've got Wendy, who's a night owl. We've got Artie. We've got Brandon. We've got Michelle. We've got Bella. We got Karen. And we have Tracy Dyer. Lots of people in the house. Lots of people coming in. Shane Stevenson. Grand Master Sexy's here. Nice to see all of you. And we're very, very glad that you're here. You know, I was just watching. It's interesting when things come together. And Cynthia and I are watching the last season of Supernatural, the TV show. I know it's campy. I know it's silly, but there's sometimes some profound, amazing truths that get dropped in that show. And then with Mike talking tonight to us, Mike King, there's been a correlation and it's a documentary, Tracy says. There's a convergence of things. Because in the last season, in the first episode of the last season, God, who's named Chuck, has left. And Sam and Dean are there, and God has just said, I'm done. The heck with you guys. And, a couple billion demons get released from hell, but those are the details. But what the guys say to each other is, you know what? God's gone. God's gone. And all we have to do is beat a couple billion demons. And they're two guys, and they smile at each other, and they say that they like those odds. And folks, Mike King was talking about today where we are and where we live. We are at the place where we have a chance to win this thing and take it over. I happen to literally believe that the Yahweh God of the Bible, that God Yahweh, that he has fled the scene. I think he's gone. He's a fake, phony, and fraudulent God. And I believe that he has left. And since he's left, as Tracy says, the poser's gone. Since he's left, it's up to us, and we can win. And as Mike said earlier tonight, the evidence is that we are winning. The cabal is in retreat. The Sanhedrin is in retreat. And we are winning the day, and that's why this election is so important. Well, Jeff, how can elections be about freedom? Well, you got to be in a place where you can get some stuff done. You got to have a person that will allow you to get the stuff done. And as I've said many times, Donald Trump did not make America great again. Donald Trump got out of the way, got government out of the way, and empowered us to make America great again. And when we reelect him on November the 3rd, we are going to keep America great and not being content with just making America great again, not being content with just making Americans great again. We've been Americans for too long. It's time to be Americans. We are going to make the whole earth great again, the same way Donald Trump did. We're not making the rest of the earth great again by making them great again. We are making the rest of the earth great again by letting this message of freedom and self-empowerment spread, this message of the puny, wicked witch God is dead. Ding dong, that bitch is dead. Uh-oh. That's a catchphrase. Ding dong, the bitch is dead. How do I work God into that? That's a t-shirt. Ding dong, the bitch God is dead, or something like that. But it is. And he is. And he's gone. And we are large and in charge. We just have to understand it and know it. I'm with Tracy. I don't want to be identified as the J-Dog, but I understand what Wendy's saying. And Bert Talks, here's a great point. Bert Talks, you cannot troll and be critical in the chat room. We do not allow it to be. We don't allow you to. That's why we have open phone lines. They haven't opened yet, but if you have the balls to make the calls, you can call me up and talk about anything, including how can you be a Christian and be a Scientologist? Well, I'm neither one, dummy. But you can call in, and I won't call you a dummy when I'm talking to you face to face. If you knew anything about this program, you'd know I'm not a Christian. And the fact that you're coming in, popping up with a question without even knowing who I am shows me that you're not very studious. So we have decided, we've made a policy. You cannot argue. You can make a polite statement. I don't agree with this. You're wrong, that kind of thing. But you can't make more than one of them. And unless you are willing to pick up the phone and call me, you can resist me. You can tell me I'm wrong. You can tell me why I'm wrong to my face, or have a hot cup of shut the hell up. That's the way it works, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way it works. I'm the most accessible man on YouTube. Who else goes on 2 hours every night, opens the phone lines and says, call me? And that's exactly what we do. I said it one more time. I'll say it. Do not talk about this in the chat room. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, what's today? Today's Wednesday night. Saturday night, I'll be on with Alex Steen on his channel, Conspiracy Castle. We're going to do a live mini auditing session. A live mini auditing session on Alex. You guys want to see how this works? Caroline, nice to see you. Tune in on Saturday night over at Conspiracy Castle, and we're going to show you how it works. I think it's a great idea. Don't like his chat room, but being able to do that affords me a great opportunity. We've confirmed that Paladin will be coming on once a month to keep us abreast and up to date with his White Hat reports. We had our first of our every other weekly, twice monthly visits with Mike King. He's going to keep us up to date on everything that he's doing. So we're trying to keep you guys up to date. I can't do it all. One man can't do it all. And we don't want one man or one woman to do it all. We want to work together, folks. So that's the exciting stuff coming up. Paladin is a great researcher. I'll be on his channel with Lady Justice at the same time. And they said they want to grill my ass. So I'm going to put my ass on the line for them. My formerly fat ass, zooming now right through another day of fasting. I'm a tiny bit cranky today. On a good day, I'm 50% gentleman, 49% motherfucker. So don't push your luck tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am just kidding. I'm just kidding. But it is a little tinkly, tinily, a little bit, little hangry, I guess you would say. It's day 21, 22, 23, 24, zooming into day 24 of the fast. So, there's some issues, but we are going to get through it. I appreciate every one of you. The show's a great success. And with that, we're going to go ahead and we will open up the phone line. Please don't call me over and over and over and over and over and over again. I had to block somebody. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yes, I've lost a lot of weight. She said it. And I'm feeling amazingly, amazingly good. I really am. The phone number, ladies and gentlemen, is 913-279-0831. Keep in mind, we do have the SuperPal chat. You see it there on the screen. It's PayPal.me/Jeffrey Daugherty. If you want to help a brother out, we have been demonetized. They take half of the super chats anyway. So use that methodology to help me out, and we appreciate you for it. If you want to put your phone number in there and move you up to the front when we get calls stacked up, we do that. But the call is 913-279-0831. That's the phone line. 913-27, where is it? 913-279-0831. And here comes our first caller. And welcome to Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty. Let me go ahead and share you so everybody can hear you. How's it going? What's up?
Oh, things are going fine. There's so much going on in the world, and I just wanted to call in and say I really appreciate what you're doing with having Mike King on as a regular, and I really enjoy Paladin. I like how he called in and he trolled your show a little bit.
He did, and he got me. He got me. He burned me. It was hilarious.
I know. I thought it was great too. I was like, oh man, just his comedic timing. He's got it down to a T there.
Yeah, I didn't know it was him. I did not know it was him. And now that screen is shared, so you guys ought to be able to hear it very well. So yeah, he did. He tricked me, and I didn't know who it was. Cynthia, when she listened to the replay, she knew who it was right away, but I did not at all. So it was very funny.
Well, I thought it was really awesome in the interview that you did with Mike earlier. It would have been nice if you had opened up the phone lines for us to call and ask questions.
I was running on empty, man. I was running on empty.
Oh, I understand. I know that you asked him some of the questions from the chat, but it was really just enlightening to hear him talk about the stuff about South Africa, because a lot of people don't know about that stuff. And I had commented in the chat that South Africa, the Dutch settlers that arrived there, their country is older than America. They signed a land contract with the Zulu warriors that had come in and genocided another tribe in 1650, roughly, for a land contract for their constitution. So the Dutch settlers, the white people that live there, they've actually been farming and taking care of that land and building civilization way longer than we've been a country.
And they didn't displace any natives to do it. They didn't steal anybody's land. They didn't destroy anybody's villages. That's just, well, where I come from, they call that a lie.
Exactly. They basically did what every other country was doing in colonization. They weren't, I mean, say what you will about the British conquesting around the world and how they may have genocided some populations and whatever, like people reference Christopher Cologne.
Right.
We just had
Cristobal Colon.
Monday. Native Peoples Day, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, people like to argue the facts about the blankets they gave them with the plague on it and all those other things. It's like South Africa was not one of those cases. It was,
no.
It was similar to how Rhodesia was set up and how Rhodesia fell, and now Zimbabwe's there, and they destroyed their country through fiat inflation and all that. But one thing I would have liked to have asked Mike is if he happens to read anything from, or you for that matter, vote.co. Have you ever been on that website?
Vote.what?
Vote, VOAT.co.
I have not been on VOAT.co.
Yes.
I've not, but I'll check it out.
Everyone should go on that website. How it formed was, do you know anything about Reddit? There's a documentary called The Internet's Own Boy, and it's all about Aaron Swartz, who was one of the co-founders of Reddit, that basically he lost control of his own creation, and it was penetrated by these bad actors, and they ended up killing him. And it became, Reddit is now one of the most trafficked websites, has been for the past like 5 to 7 years on the internet. It's one of the most highly trafficked, and what they do is they feed a lot of misinformation stuff from mainstream media through it. And now the majority of the website is not even real people. It is bots that are from like Asia, because they had a CEO take over. Her name was Ellen Powell, and Vote was formed out of that mass exodus that left the Reddit website when they saw what was happening to it.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting take on things, but Vote is like the last, I would say, one of the last free corners of free speech on the internet. A lot of people don't realize just how censored a lot of the information we're reading from Twitter. I mean, look at Kayleigh McEnemy. She had her Twitter suspended today.
She did.
Jack Dorsey's playing some major politics, and the reason why nobody can form third-party platforms, like, oh, if you don't like it, it's a private company, you can go form your own. Whenever people try to do that with websites like, for example, Vote, for whatever reason, they've been able to survive, but there have been other platforms like Parler that have come out that try to be alternatives to like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, and they get bought up by these foreign interests, and then they drive the website into the ground, making it impossible for alternatives to spring up. So I just thought it was really interesting. And the one thing from Vote I wanted to talk to you about that I saw on there today was in the Great Awakening stuff related to military intelligence. Basically, Hunter Biden's laptop was taken to a repair shop in 2019. The repair shop, they turned over the laptop to the FBI, but before they did that, they made copies of the hard drives. And now Giuliani is talking about they now have the contents of this laptop. So over the next 5 days, they're starting to talk about releasing incriminating evidence, not just the photo of Hunter Biden with the meth pipe in his mouth
while he's having sex.
Yeah.
Good times.
I know I covered a lot of ground there in probably the last 5 minutes I've been talking, Jeff. I want to give you a chance to respond. There's so much crazy stuff going on.
There is. And, we got people stacking up, so I'll let you go. Feel free to call back. And, we'll address all that. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hi, Jeffrey. This is Svetlana from over there.
Yes, ma'am. I remember.
Yes, my mom is still in the hospital till today. They're gonna, in a couple hours, they're gonna do the tracheotomy, and I hope it's gonna help her, because right now all tubes goes to her mouth and it's very uncomfortable. So I think that should probably help. And
good.
Thank you so much. Sending energy. It's like I could feel it in the air.
And we'll continue to do so.
It's just so powerful. I mean,
help me pronounce your first name, please. Say it for me slow. Svetlana.
Yes.
Beautiful name. Thank you for calling. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I had to mention, I mean, the fasting, it's like, it's wonderful. It's just like, that's the time you're actually getting close to your higher self and ultimately close to God,
I can feel it.
It's something we all should be doing it. And another thing, I have some things like what I was thinking about, and it came to me like a knowledge of certain stuff. Like, for example, the 666 mark, it's actually a mark of all matter, and whole this realm, whole universe is actually, if you're accepting this universe as yours, you're accepting the mark of the beast. It's not just an experience, it's not just some kind of way of thinking. It's the whole realm is actually marked as the bad one.
I like that.
And we're pretty much closing down this universe completely. The next universe, like I already said last time, it's going to be no time, no space, and we're going to be in our best, like, real you. It has IQ over 1,000.
Now, Svetlana, so if I understand you correctly, by continuing to look for gods or aliens or gurus, anything outside of us, we're holding on. And until we remember that we're divine, sovereign, and free, and look within ourselves on our own expansion, we will continue to be held in what is essentially the mark of the beast matrix. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes. Like over here, we have to search yourself in the first place. You have to connect to bigger part of you, the smarter part of you.
Yes.
The perfect part of you. And in real estate, none of us have form or shape, and we do not speak any languages. We actually communicate telepathically outside of this place. And we're all together, and it's beautiful.
You are so right.
Apocalypse already pretty much happened. That's how we know that this place is horrible. That's why we're looking at the stuff. That's why you're calling yourself a whistleblower, because something is really critically wrong with this place. As right now, I think we're already in Armageddon, where it's the last battle between light and the dark. And the God and you are and me outside of this place, we actually literally light. It's like stronger than gamma radiation, stronger than X-ray. And they recently did this experiment where they use laser beams from two hydrolyzers, and they combined strength of those laser beams, and they were able to create matter. So matter is actually literally created from light.
Amazing.
It's already proven. Yes, you can look it up. It's in several magazines right now, scientific magazines. So the next thing is like the immortality. That's where we actually came from immortals, and we're going back to immortals just by waking up from the slumber we've been in. And death is not real. It's like it's the proof of death being not real. It's a lot of near-death experiences, like I had several of them, and also under hypnosis, a lot of us have past life memories. That means you've been here so many times, and you're able to maintain some of the memories. Also, your body here is pretty much like avatar. It's like a water, and it's holographic. Earth is not flat or round. It's a holographic presentation of energy field, and it's sort of magnetic too. And everything in life here made of water. And water is pretty much like antenna for your soul. So everything you're putting out over here, you actually the one who, that's why people, when they have organ when they're getting organ transmissions from other people, they're acquiring other people's memories, because memory stored in the water tissue of this organ. So you literally get experience of the person who actually had this organ, and it's transferred through water. And the way to actually influence water, it's there is two ways, and it's also been scientifically proven. They've been researching from 60s and 70s. The number one is intentions. You can affect water, and you can affect everything in your life by intention. That's why I'm asking for energy from you guys to help my mom. And another way to affect your body, okay, water, is through frequencies. That's why they're using on major scale a lot of frequencies, especially dangerous frequencies for everything in life, like 5G, 4G. It's just to keep us stuck here and do what they want us to do, because people who having big power over here right now, they're pretty much doomed. They're the one who invented death, created death, and they're the ones who's going to be dying from death. That's the first time that spirit's going to be killed in the history of all existence. And it's only in this universe spirits going to be killed, the ones who have been torturing other spirits. And it's including all politicians, because everyone who acquiring power over others, in nature, they're evil.
That's amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
Literally, and I think there is also people who are here in human bodies who did not have human experiences here. That's our first experience here ever. And that's the ones who in Bible were called angels, who come in the end of time to help with this waking up process and transitioning. So there is Dolores Cannon was doing research under hypnosis. She was trying to get the past life memories, and there is a group of people who do not have those past life experiences. It's like three groups of us: the ones who came around 50 years ago, and the younger ones. So we literally been placed at this place in time for specific purpose, to figure out what's going on over here, what has to be done, and how to wake people up.
This is brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Thank you for calling and sharing this with us. We've got some people on hold. I want to move on, but I invite you to call back later. Thank you so much for that. And let me ask you one question before we end your call. Do you think that people that are constantly focusing on the end times, it's going to be terrible, it's going to be horrible, they're going to chop our heads off, we're going to get killed, Do you think that they are holding on to this mark of the beast system?
Sort of yes and no, because it's been pre-programmed. Like we hold on to life in general. It's been pre-programmed to us, and it's actually pretty painful when your body is actually dying.
Right.
So it's pretty natural. But people who have a feeling with the end of time, and they see all those signs, which been mentioned in the Revelations of Bible, that's actually all correct. They're the ones who are actually closer to the truth of this place. And rapture is actually going to be real. It's going to feel like you're flying. It's like over here you magnetize, your spirit is magnetized to this body, and when the magnet is going to be released, you're going to start flying really, really, really fast. And plus, you're going to be expanding. You're going to be becoming bigger than Earth. So during that process, you should not be afraid. It's going to be magnificent. It's going to feel like you're flying when you're on a swings, when you're flying up. That's how it's going to feel.
Well, Svetlana, thank you very much. That's amazing stuff. I appreciate your call. Again, we'll continue to send the great energy to your mother, and we hope to hear from you again, folks. That's a brilliant call. That's a great call. I love being able to talk about those things that are outside of the box. And so much of what she said, I think, is true. I'm not sure I agree with all of it, but it's certainly inspiring to us. And when we continue to talk about all the bad, we're manifesting a bad experience for ourselves. And we have a choice. These people want to tell us, oh, no, this is prophecy. It's got to happen. No, it doesn't have to happen. Maybe in your world, but not in mine. We are going, and we have already, and it's evidence that we are creating the world that we want. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure. And the phone line is open again. That phone line, of course, is 913-279-0831. And the lines are open, so you can call in, and the calls will stack up. Let's see if I have any waiting on me here. It doesn't look like I have any waiting. It looks like we're clear right now. Recent calls. Yep, it looks like we're clear. So if you want to call in, the phone line is open. The Super Pal chat is open to you as well. And again, the phone number, 913-279-0831. I wouldn't have cut Svetlana off if I'd have known that there wasn't someone on hold. But hey, my bad. We do appreciate you. And it's just so nice to know that there's people that are figuring it out. And the question I have is, we're manifesting a non-biblical timeline because we've realized that the Bible's wrong. The Bible's not true. The Bible is a fear and guilt control matrix book that has a few instructions in it in spite of itself to help us out. Now, my question is, are these people that are manifesting the bad timeline, are they going to manifest a timeline for themselves that they're going to experience just like we're experiencing this timeline? Does that make any sense? Will they be able to experience on this same, wherever we are, a different experience than we're experiencing? Will there be multiple experiencers of multiple realities right here in this time, I guess you'd call it, that we're in? Tracy thinks so. I just don't know. It seems like, because I mean, you know, the people that are on YouTube talking about prophecy and how terrible it's going to be, and we're on the other side of that saying, no, it's not going to be. But we're living in the same time and space. We're living in the same time and space. So how can we experience two different things? Now, somebody is suggesting, Aaron is suggesting that it's already happening. It's fascinating stuff. I'm going to answer the phone and then I'll share the call. So please, no audio stuff unless I ask. It's late night in the Heartland. You are live with Jeffrey Daugherty. Thanks for calling.
Hi, it's Wendy. I figured I'd call in. It's a good topic. Well,
Wendy, I'm glad you called in, and I think everybody can hear you now. So let's talk about this topic, Wendy, and thanks for calling in. It's always nice to see you here.
I really think that all the movies and all the evilness that's really been shown in the movies in the past 3 years, I think it is predictive programming.
Right.
And I think if we keep on thinking about these things, then it kind of dimensionally allows them to happen.
I would agree with you.
So when people ask, what's the least that I can do? I would say, stop watching evil programming.
Right.
Thing, right?
That is a big thing. And that would you say that also includes what you watch on YouTube?
Yes.
I would too.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you want to know what the news is or what's
Right.
going on in the world, but there comes a point where you need to shut that off and like just live and be happy and take a walk and hug your loved ones.
Absolutely. Wendy, do you think, like to what I was just talking about, can there actually be multiple manifestations of reality within the same manifestation of reality?
I think so. I mean, I haven't really honed in on like total theory about that, but one thing I always say is like, in which dimension is that true in?
Well, like
so sometimes when people have dreams or people are go ranting about they think this or that, and I was like, well, which dimension is it true in?
That's interesting. But like my example would be like, I'm talking to this person now that we might do a show and talk about our different varying positions. His name is Royston Potter. I call him Scary Potter. And he's saying how bad everything's going to be and get ready. It's going to be horrible. And I'm saying it's going to be better than it's ever been, sooner than you can even imagine. And we're both living in the same time and space, it appears to me. So is it possible that Scary Potter's world and Jeffrey Daugherty's world will exist in the same time and space at the same time? Or are Scary Potter and Jeffrey Daugherty even in the same time and space right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, right?
Yeah. What do you think about it? What does your gut say?
My gut says that a lot of it has to do with maybe the actual facts. You see, like in the news right now, people can hear the same thing and then have two different opinions about it.
Right.
Based on where they're coming from, what their past, how their upbringing in their childhood is. I mean, and then there's also all these other influences on the news. Like when somebody goes off and cuts down Trump or says, really stupid things, I was like, oh, you watch CNN, don't you? Because you can tell where it's coming from. It's not coming from inside of them or their innate thinking about something. It's programmed to them. So I think we're best off trying to be happy right now in the now as much as we can, and then reframe or learn about the past, maybe 20%, and then project and put effort towards how we want things 20%. But we do help everybody by being happy right now.
We do. And how much do you think humanity as a whole is injured or hurt by people that are always talking doom and gloom?
To some degree, I think 100% of us are hurt by them. To what degree we are hurt by them varies with everybody. Probably people on this channel, probably 85% were good. Maybe the majority of us are. But there's still triggers, or using the word the Dianetics, engrams, right? That There's ones that we don't know about unless we clear, but then maybe some came back.
And they do. That's why you have to undergo, Dianetic process on a regular basis. That's important. But yeah, it's so fascinating. And I guess I really don't have to worry about what other people are manifesting. Just do my best to manifest what I'm manifesting and live in what I'm living in. But it just frustrates me and bothers me when other people are manifesting these doom and gloom ideas, and people are hearing these doom and gloom ideas and start having their own manifestation hijacked and are helping support what I would call the bad manifestations by just being a part of it.
And that's why you are the Christian whistleblower.
That's the reason why I'm the mailman. I'm just trying to bring the mail saying, hey, look, you don't have to believe what you don't want to believe. You don't have to live in a world that you don't want to live in. Just manifest it. And Wendy, I appreciate you calling. Anything, any more wisdom to share with us?
I guess the last thought is just we've had enough. And all we need to do is shine the light on the rats while keeping our joy.
That's for sure. Sarah says she's from the future. I wish you'd call in, Wendy. I haven't talked to anybody from the future before.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would. Wendy, thanks for the call. Call back anytime.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye now. If you're from the future, Sarah Lee, and you're not joking, if you're really from the future, please call in. I'd like to talk to somebody. Oh, you're just from a future time because you're a Kiwi. I get it. So over in New Zealand, it's the future. I would thought that maybe you really thought you were like from, the future. That would be cool because I never talked to anybody from the future, and I think it's possible. Sarah Lee, the phone number was just posted. The phone number is 913-279-0831. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, it's there all the time, unless I'm sharing the screen. It says call in 913-279-0831, paypal.me/Jeffrey Daugherty. That's for Super Pal Chat. I'm going to try to figure out an easier way, but I have to share the screen that the call is on in order for the audio to go through the computer so you can hear it and don't just have to wait for it to pick up or depend upon my mic picking it up because this mic isn't that kind of a mic. I guess what I could do is I have multiple channels. I could just put a mic on the computer speaker, couldn't I? That's something that we may try out tomorrow. I've got a nice lonely mic, just waiting. So I think we may try that out. We may indeed try that out. And if you one more time tell me, I told you I'm hangry. I don't need to know about the volume unless I ask you. I'm doing my best. Please don't tell me the volume's low. It's distracting and it pisses me off and I'm hangry. I'm just sharing. I'm just being real with you. So unless I ask, how's the audio? I don't want to hear about the freaking audio. I'm doing my very, very best. How long has it been since you guys saw me get mad? It's been a while, isn't it? You know what? Go ahead and test me. You think I'm joking? How about that? Exactly. Tracy says, don't poke the bear. I'm not in the best of moods tonight. How long has it been since you saw me go off? You're on my last nerve. Oh, man. Do you know how anyway, this is so funny. Oh, folks, Cynthia's in the house. She's like, hold it together, Jeff. Hold it together, Jeff. Oh, baby, I'm trying. The phone number is on the bottom. There's 913-279-0831. You're welcome to call in anytime and talk to me about anything. I love how all these people are so brave. They want to tell me how bad I am and how horrible I am. But all of a sudden in 2020, they don't have phones. They don't have hands or arms. They don't have a stick to dial with. 2020, and you don't have a phone. And anyway, but you got fingers to tell me how stupid I am, but you won't call in. So I don't understand. I make myself available, and they just want to troll, but they will not give a phone call. Cynthia's very, very tired, but here's somebody who's willing to call, and I'm willing to take that call. It's late night in the Heartland. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, and you are live on the air. What's on your mind, caller?
Yeah, it's Grandmaster Sexy, and we have a lot to talk about.
Grandmaster Sexy, we got a lot to talk about, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, lay it on me.
Okay, sir.
You don't have to call me sir.
But I want to show respect because this is your show, and I want to give all respect to you. And shout out to Cynthia, your lovely wife. I don't know.
She's listening. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you, Grandmaster Sexy. I don't like that you stole my name. I should have used that name, Grandmaster Sexy. But at least you got it and you're representing it.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the best I can with that. And you know what I'm saying? You're definitely doing your thing, and it's all good. But you know what I'm saying? We have to have the conversations, the tough ones. And
we do.
I'm here to bring the tough ones, and that's what I'm here to do. But it's all about love.
I've been waiting for a tough one. I've been waiting for a tough one. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, let's start off with the word draconian.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bring the dictionary out, and we're gonna read the definition.
I was just about to do that. I'm glad you're there.
So it says, of Jericho, or harsh code of laws attributed to him, often extremely severe or cruel. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay. I just wanted to lay that word down, because that's the main reason why I'm calling in. And on top of that, I'm about to make this show better.
Okay.
That's what I do. Whenever I show up, I just want to let everybody know that's what I do. I make it better.
Well, you're Grandmaster Sexy. We expect that.
Exactly. And I know I haven't started a YouTube channel of my own because I haven't felt the calling, and I just haven't felt the need to do it. But I'm going, and I just want to say that because I'm about to go hard on you, but I'm also about to go hard on Pharaoh tonight. And I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, go hard on somebody and then, somebody say, well, Grandmaster Sexy, why haven't you started a YouTube channel of your own? And you're going hard on Jeff. Why are you doing that? You're going hard on Pharaoh. Why are you doing that? I want to let you know it's because of you and Pharaoh. You're bringing this out in me. So you're getting credit. I might start a YouTube channel now. You're bringing Grandmaster Sexy to the light. Pharaoh is bringing Grandmaster Sexy to the light.
That's what it's all about.
You're doing that, and I just want to let you know you're both of you. Oh wow! You know what I'm saying? I was perfectly fine just living in the shadows, for, you know what I'm saying, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, 2020. But wow, you're doing your thing, and I have to give credit where credit is due.
I appreciate that. Now let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So, my big issue with both you and Pharaoh is race.
Uh-huh.
And I called in last time. I talked about it a little bit with you.
Right.
And when I hung up the line, you said that I was a black man. And if you go back into the conversation, I told you that I identified as an infinite being having a 3D experience. So you didn't tell the truth on me, Jeff.
I get your point, but if someone looked at you and they said, what color is he? What would the answer be?
That's on them.
Okay.
If I tell them what I am, that's on them.
Yep.
I don't care what somebody else thinks.
Well, evidently you do, because it upset you that I called you black, and I will not call you black again. I'll call you an infinite being of what? Tell me again what you are. An infinite being what?
Having a 3D experience.
So you're an infinite being having a 3D experience. I got it.
Yes, sir. And that's what I believe what we all are. It doesn't matter what you think, that what you see in the mirror. And I'm telling that to you. I'm telling that to Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to have a conversation with Pharaoh.
And I thoroughly appreciate I thoroughly appreciate your opinion on that, and I respect your opinion on that.
And I'm just telling you, like, I respect you that you're so available, that you're able to have a Grandmaster Sexy call in. Pharaoh's not as available as you are on an open, available topic. I would love to have a conversation with Pharaoh as well. So I'm not just picking on you. Like,
Oh, I got it.
to have Pharaoh.
I make myself
Pharaoh,
available.
And so you're winning right now. But
can I ask you one question? Can I ask you one question?
And I'm here to answer all questions.
Okay.
Tonight.
Is it possible? Would it be acceptable that I could see you as an infinite being having an infinite experience that happens to be driving a black car or riding in a black car right now?
An infinite being having a 3D experience driving a black car.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see, we found a little in the middle. I don't mind addressing you as an infinite being having a 3D experience. I really don't.
Perfect.
So let's move on. I'm sure that's not the only point you got, right?
No, and last time you said grandmas are sexy. Who are the jar? Remember we were talking about the jar shakers?
Yes, with the red ants and the black ants.
Yes, sir. And you said grandmas are sexy. The floor is yours. Talk about the jar shakers. And I didn't want to do that because I didn't feel it was my time or need to do that.
And if you do, let's try to use code words and stuff so we don't get kicked off of YouTube. But I'm with you.
And exactly, I don't want to. And exactly, that's why I didn't want to exactly get into that because I don't want to harm your channel. When I call in, I want to make it better. Like
I appreciate it.
If I could have you. You're welcome. And it would be perfect to have you and Pharaoh on the channel. And I probably wouldn't get you and Pharaoh on the channel unless my subscribers went up extraordinarily because Pharaoh is just, he's just like big time in everything. So, but I would love to have both of you on the channel to talk about this because I don't want to just, go hard on you, but at the same time, not go hard on him. I want to go hard on both of you at the same time.
Okay. Well, we went past point one. What else you got to go hard about?
Okay. Well, like I said, I don't want to get your channel in trouble, and I understand that, but I want to go in a little bit on jar shakers tonight.
All right.
Because we all are infinite beings having a 3D experience. That's what we are. And if you don't believe that that's what you are, then you are definitely being indoctrinated into something that you don't understand. Now, I understand that Pharaoh has science on, and the last time you explained to me, we're different breeds of cats. And I understand, he has this science. I'm going to call it pseudoscience. He has this pseudoscience that he can break it down that, because, the mammalian brain or the reptilian brain and the O negative blood and the, this, that, and the third. And that's why, 85% of white people have a calcified pineal gland and
I agree with you on that. I think that he may not be. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to pick on you or Pharaoh, but you guys are both off the line on this race thing, and you want to make the white race strong, and you want to make the black race strong, and from where I'm telling you from a higher perspective, you're going along with the draconians. That's what I feel like you're doing, whether you know it or not. And I talked to you about shadow work. Do you know that?
I do.
And yeah, so that's the shadow work, and I'm talking about I believe both of you have not reached the same level that I'm at, to where you can see that we are no different. This is just our spacesuit. It doesn't matter. This is the vehicle that we're in. We're spiritual beings inside of this spacesuit, and that's what we are. And you want to make the white race and he wants to make the black race strong, and it's fitting their narrative, and they're
In your opinion.
Go ahead.
In your opinion, you're stating your opinion, and I appreciate that.
Right, and so you haven't given me with, you know, and I like the Diagnetics program that you're doing, the white Diagnetics program that you're doing, but it's still in Ronald Hubbard, but he's still a little off. And what Pharaoh is.
But how do he's a little. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to develop myself and try to help people develop themselves, including you. And part of my commitment is that when someone makes a statement, I want to stop and if they make a statement that is not clarified or not supported, I want to confront that statement and not just let it go and make it be clarified. When you say L. Ron Hubbard is a little bit off, based on what data and exactly where do you think is a little bit off?
Okay, well, from what you're preaching about, Ron L. Hubbard, you're saying that race matters and you need to make your race strong. Is that correct? That's why I'm going.
Ron didn't really write too much on that. I would be inferring from what from that. You know, Ron did talk about the dynamics, and you know the dynamics do work about self, family, race, humankind, eternity. So it would be inferential. It'd be inferential, but yeah, I would be putting words in Ron's mouth to a point, because he never really specifically addressed race.
Okay, well, maybe I'm going in on Ron L, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, he's dead anyway. It doesn't bother him.
Yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to go on as somebody that can't defend themselves, but my whole point is that we're infinite beings, and we're
right.
having a 3D experience, and it doesn't matter what our spacesuit is, and we need to make each other strong. We cannot let the Draconians win. The Draconians are the jar shakers, and I can go in on them, but I don't want to get your channel in any trouble. So that's why I don't want to completely go in, because the verbiage, and I know, and I just want to make your show better. Whenever I show up, this is my whole point, to make it better. I don't want to demonetize. I want to make it better.
Do you think it's the limbs that are shaking the jar?
They're shaking the jar.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm showing up, because they're actually making a difference right now, and I don't want to allow them to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. And last time I was saying some words at the end, and I was trying to identify the problem, but I didn't stay on the line and talk about it to where I can answer your question and say, hey, look, this is what we need to do. Like I said things like, they're trying to take away humanity. They're trying to take away consciousness. So I'm going to say those things again, and then I want you to ask me the questions on how are they doing it. So I want you to set me up so I can dunk it.
Okay.
But I don't want your channel to get demonetized in any way, so I'm going to try to, just talk in ways to where I'm not going to, specifically identify the people that are going to demonetize you, but at the same time, I'm going to speak in generalities.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I love, when I told you that I love you, I do, because you're available. And I would love to have Pharaoh. I would like I'm talking to you right now. And I would love to have that as well. So it's just not you, Jeff.
I got you. I'm clear on that.
Perfect. So fire away. I'm here.
I know that what you're saying is your deeply held opinion. A lot of people share your opinion. In fact, I think Cynthia probably shares your opinion. Now here's where, and I can't speak for Pharaoh, but you have arrived at your place of realizing that it's not about the vehicle, the human that we are, that it's about the infinite being that's having this 3D experience. And I get that, and I understand that. And for you, you have found the way that works, and there are people that will get it like you get it, and I'm glad of that. I am, and I presume Pharaoh is, looking at the people that are not going to get it like you got it. And, you know, I've been doing this for 40 years, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But what I am seeing and observing is that there are some people that are so beat down, they're so beat up, they're so suppressed, they're so oppressed, they're so aberrated, if we want to talk Dianetics, that they have got to get to a place where they find their divinity and their sovereignty and their individuality and their individuality and their divinity in this actual beingness. There's people that are so beat down. There's white people that are so beat down. I know you don't like this, but there's white people that are so beat down. You know, they're hearing every day about how bad they are and how rotten they are and how everything's their fault. Really, white guys are the only people you're allowed to discriminate against. Now, Pharaoh would say on the other side, there's black people that feel the same exact way, and I'm sure there probably are. But my goal and my mission is to help the people that aren't like Grandmaster Sexy. They don't have it as altogether as Grandmaster Sexy. But those people need to understand that some people need to optimize their physicality and optimize their humanness before they can begin to transcend their humanness. And by the way, we are still living in this world. And I truly and powerfully believe in my heart of hearts that when the individual races of humanity optimize themselves, they will be able to optimize themselves. Now, having done the physical work, they'll be able to transcend into the metaphysical work. And many of them won't be able to unless they optimize themselves physically. They won't be able to optimize themselves metaphysically. And I think one of the big reasons is because if you are born here and you are living in this reality in a black body, in a white body, and we include all the other races, we're just talking black and white because that's who we're talking about right now. And I know you won't like this, but I think part of it might be that you can't really tune into your true spirituality, your true metaphysic heritage if you don't listen and tune in. Or let's put it this way, it's a great training ground to tune into and listen to the genetic, the racial, ancestral callings and optimization of who you are. And then once you learn to do that, you are at a place where you know you're divine, you know you're sovereign, you know you're free, and then you stop caring about the car that you're in. You keep it under good maintenance, but then you say, oh, there's much more to it. You didn't need to do that. But there's a lot of people out there, I think, that do need to do it. And as Tracy says, many people need to find their true self as a human being before they can find their true self as a infinite being having a 3D experience. Some people need to require and fully understand the 3D and fully optimize the 3D before they can move into that extra 3D experience. I think you're right, and I think I'm right, and I think together we can craft maybe even a better answer. What's your response?
My response is that, hey, let's not cancel the Paw Patrol, everybody. Let's give a shout out to the Paw Patrol. First and foremost.
The what?
It's okay. Don't worry about it. If you don't know what the Paw Patrol is, it's okay.
Okay.
Everybody knows the Paw Patrol out there. Don't cancel the Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol's good.
All right.
Now, okay, and I heard everything that you said, Jeff, and I feel you, like, and I feel Pharaoh. Okay, but Grandmaster Sexy wasn't always Grandmaster Sexy. Grandmaster Sexy was the caterpillar.
Yep.
It, you know, is in the cocoon. And I'm not saying I came out the butterfly yet, but I'm in the process.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm in the process of coming out the butterfly.
And there might be more than one process to get to the same place. There might be.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. So I'm not saying that I've reached the level of enlightenment. Okay, so when I say I'm doing the shadow work, it's because I love doing the shadow work. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you to love the shadow work. I'm trying to get Tracy Dyer to love the shadow work. Okay, I'm trying to get everybody out there in the world to love the shadow work. And we're never going to get to the place of total enlightenment, because that's an unreachable goal unless we pass away and go back to the ether of consciousness. And so
I'd agree with that.
I'm not right. So we have to fall in love with the process. And that's the point I'm trying to say. And we're not
I
going
like
to fall
it.
in love with the process unless we have an understanding of the basics. And the basics is that we're having a 3D experience as an infinite being. So what I'm telling you is that you're losing people. Pharaoh is losing people in this matrix, and they're falling under this draconian law. I know you're trying to help people, but you're causing them to fall into their trap by telling them that they're white, or telling them that they're black and they should be proud that they're white and should be proud that they're black. We need to understand the basics and understand.
Hey, Grandmaster Sexy, just let me make one clarification. I know that this will probably bother you a little bit, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. I used to be, oh my God, I'm going to lose somebody. Oh my God, I'm going to miss somebody. But I realized one day that I am not that damn important, and I am not here to save or to lead or to help everybody. There's some people that I can't help. There's some people I'll never be able to help. And there's also some people that might not be able to get helped by anybody but my straightforward, blunt ass. So if I lose some people along the way, I got to trust the process. I got to be, to quote a Bible verse, which I hate to do, I got to be obedient to my heavenly vision. So if I lose some folks along the way, it's meant to be because I'm doing what I'm meant to do. Can I soften? Can I be more inclusive? Yes, and I think I've come a long way in that. Is it possible I need to do more? And again, remember, Grandmaster Sexy, I'm just the mailman. I'm just delivering the mail, and I think I'm delivering mail that needs to be delivered. Am I putting some junk mail out? Maybe. And you know what? I'm open to that correction. The only thing I worry about with Pharaoh is he's so damn smart and so damn good at so damn young, he might think that he can't get no better or no smarter. That's the only thing I worry about with him, because he's tight he's good on most of his stuff, but he is young, and he reminds me of me when I was his age. I thought I knew every damn thing. That's the only thing I worry about with Pharaoh. But that's my point, and an answer to what you were saying.
I would love to have a Jeffrey Daugherty mailman, young Pharaoh, Grandmaster Sexy, come together channel. I need to go like that.
I know that you'd like that, but I don't think it's going to happen. So let's don't go down that road again. But is there any other roads you want to go down? I mean, I love this chat, but we got 25 minutes here. So, well, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it right now.
Exactly, and I know you are, Jeff, but I don't think young Pharaoh is ready quite yet.
He got 500,000 subscribers. He's busy.
I do. Like, in order to get his attention, I'm going to have to get my subscribers, because in his mind, what he's thinking in his mind, I already know how he's thinking. Okay, if I have enough subscribers, he's thinking that he's going to get my subscribers to subscribe to him.
I don't think Pharaoh goes down that road. I really don't. I don't think Pharaoh could give a good goddamn about your subscribers or my subscribers. I think that he has something he wants to say. Now, he does have some people on that I think, to collab and help, but I don't think that's what drives him. I really don't. And let's go ahead. And I've been on with you 25 minutes. I love it. We should have a time where you come on and I talk to just you, but we do have people on hold. So let's try to turn this corner and bring a conversation that needs to continue to at least, we'll pull off on the rest stop for now, knowing that we still got more to go.
Okay, we definitely have more to go, and this will be continued. Love you.
Hey, I appreciate you, my brother. Love you too. Bye-bye. That's a great call. That's a great call. Thank you for holding your live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Oh, hello.
Hi. You're with me. Go ahead. Let's talk.
Oh my goodness, so great. I've followed you for ages, right? So, as from the future, let me explain this.
Okay.
I'm in New Zealand.
Right.
Obviously, I'm British. So I moved here 21 years ago, and I don't know what happened. I don't know why I've been led to New Zealand. I don't know why I've moved to this area. I'm near Mount Taranaki, which is one of the X marks the spots if you go and do the ley lines and all of that stuff. And since I've moved into this current property, oh my goodness, everything has come alive, and it's like I've moved to another dimension.
That's really, do you think you literally have?
I've tracked because I thought I've gone totally crazy. My entire family thinks I'm crazy. However, I've mapped my numbers, and I've gone back to numerology and all of these things, and I am in exactly the right spot. Now, just to back this up, I bought an old bank, and the bank has changed its numbers since I bought it. Well, not since I bought it, but before then. It goes back to 1877.
Wow.
And I'm on geometric grid. And I've got a vault here, and I'm powering up the vault, and I know this is how they all do stuff. I know it has. I just know. And all that happens is my daughter, who's not 18, she goes and fights in the spirit world every night and tells me what's going on the next dimension, and everyone thinks I've been mental for years.
So you're actually living in another dimension while you're also so you live in two dimensions.
Yes, I live in Narnia. You come through the doors and you think it used to be a bank. You walk through here and everyone goes, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And I'm like, I was led to the address, and then I went through the numbers, and it's an 81. So my numbers when I went through, I'm an 81. My partner, who I only met, I didn't meet him, I met him about 4 years ago. I only allowed him for coffee in January. He's an 81. My daughter's a 333. And then I find out that the actual number has been changed from a 77. So
wow.
I'm number 77. And I'm born on 7/1/71. I'm like, oh my, and I'm mapping it. I was born in Germany, in a military hospital.
Which one? My son was born in Germany in a military hospital in Wiesbaden.
Yeah, and I go through this whole thing, and I go, map it. Ask your mother, because Mum's still going to vote this. We've got the elections here in New Zealand on Saturday, by the way, with Jacinda. And I'm like, don't vote, Mum. Just don't vote. Don't buy in. You're signing the contract. Don't do it. So I sound like this crazy woman from New Zealand. However, on following your show, my best mate here is identical to me, but the polar opposite. Do you think, Mirror? I'm tall, dark. She's short, blonde. And did the same courses at college. We did everything. And she is born within 10 days of me in 71. And I'm like, oh my goodness, she's my soul sister. It's just phenomenal. And once you realize everything that you've witnessed or read or learned is a freaking lie, you get it. You just, it's phenomenal.
That is amazing. So you literally think you live in 2 dimensions.
I do. I go in and out. I go in and out every day.
And you do it. Are you able to do it at will?
I have learned to do it. I've been here a year. My daughter has been in 5 days since we moved in. She's always had this, and everyone thought she's a bit weird, but she's quiet and she thinks, and she's not a drinker, and anything like that. I don't know how I've got her through. Now, the other thing is,
let me say before you change gears, I will confess that I have at times slipped into other dimensions, but I haven't practiced or mastered the ability to do it at will.
Yeah, well, my daughter has. I'm learning because, so as I understand it, and I'm not saying I'm an expert, she's a light warrior. She goes up at night and she tells me who she calls in, and she goes and fights in. She puts stones over the house and all of this stuff. Now, on that, obviously the Brit, I came here and I met and married my dentist. Right. Now, his origins are from Sweden. And so he's an Australian that moved to New Zealand. And I'm going, oh, this is all DNA mapping. This is why they do the prick test on foot, to match your DNA to see where you're going to end up. Whatever's happened, I'm here, and I don't know, I've obviously had the opportunity to buy this bank, which, by the way, is a banking Freemasonry, right? We are in a 7-7 that they've changed to an 8-1, and it just so happens I'm an 8-1, and we live at a 7-7. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. It's phenomenal once you see it.
It is. It is. That's a fascinating call.
I'm like, oh my goodness, you're talking so much truth. And the Bible, I'm not raised religious, though I was Anglican church. I've mapped everything back. By the way, I'm 50 next year, so 2021. And I'm looking at it going, how on earth, why won't you? And I've mapped everything back to the Bible. And I'm going, we're just what? So the Bible, as I understand it, is your rule book or for the game of Monopoly, the game of Pluto, the game of everything.
Oh, I like that.
That is so what it is. I look at it and go, yeah, that makes sense. Then you go movies, you go play, everything, Shakespeare. So, even in Stratford, which is near to Taranaki, Stratford-upon-Avon is where Shakespeare was from.
Right.
I'm like, how have I been to all of these places in my life and I've just woken up? How? And I've looked at, I've mapped them all, and it's down to numbers, places you've visited, weird holidays you've had, everything, and it's all geometry and numbers.
That's amazing stuff. That is amazing stuff. This is a great call. I really appreciate it. Do you have anything else you want to share with us?
So just carry on the great work, because I share your stuff everywhere, and you know what? That we're all coming up. Some people will wake up, some will go up, some will go down. I get that. That's just a game of life. It's dark to light. And it's always an even. And by the way, can I just throw something in really weird about the Georgia Guidestones?
Please. I've been to them. Let me know.
Yeah. So imagine that on the opposite. If it was good, if it was dark to light, because everyone assumes it's been written by the New World Order. However, if you're looking at it from the light and you read them, you go, that's actually a blissful world.
Interesting. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna think that through, because yeah.
If you look from the other side, it's like, and I think COVID's great, by the way. Because it's force people to actually reevaluate their lives.
You know what? I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. It was definitely a wake-up call or a lullaby, depending upon who you are and where you're going.
Yeah. So,
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. You have lit my life up, guys. Wait.
That's very high praise, and I hope that I'll hear from you again.
Oh, you will do. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye. Damn, ladies and gentlemen, that's good stuff. But hey, let's just go right to some more. Thank you for holding your live with Jeffrey Daugherty, Late Night in the Heartland. What you got for me? Is anybody there? Going once? Going twice? Sorry that you couldn't hold on. I understand. It's no fun to sit on hold, but you just can't go away from a call like that. It was, I mean, fascinating. I'm loving every second of this show tonight. Grandmaster Sexy bringing the mail. I think that was Sarah, right? Sarah bringing the mail. Svetlana bringing the mail. It's been a great night, and we've totally blown off our breaks. We're supposed to have breaks, but hey, this is really good stuff. It's going strong. We've got about 39 minutes left in the show tonight, and the phone number to call is 913-279-0831. 913-279-0831. Very powerful stuff. Let's go ahead and take this call. It is Late Night in the Heartland, and you are live with Jeffrey Daugherty. How are you?
Hey, Jeff.
Scared. Social observer.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Man, I missed the whole show. I'm not going to lie. But I did want to say one thing. I had a conversation with a good buddy of mine. He doesn't believe in Jericho, like the Jericho entities.
I'm not sure I do, to be honest with you. I think it might be a manifestation of something within. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Well, it's interesting, though. Like, there has to be a low density. I mean, if you believe, do you believe in aliens?
I will believe in aliens when I see proof of aliens. So the short answer is no.
Okay, so do you believe that Jesus was an alien?
No. I believe in the Bible he's presented as an alien. And it would be good to define alien, like Tracy Dyer saying aliens. And I think it's, he doesn't believe, I believe, but aliens are just beings or entities from another place. But I don't think that place is outer space, the final frontier. I don't believe that because I can't prove it.
Well, do you believe? Okay, I know when you say
Tracy says, do you even listen to the show, Social Observer?
The LIE and the belief, I get it. But do you think that as far as sorry, I was listening to the background.
That's all right.
As far as believing that the system that we live in is actually real, like that kind of confuses me because we have to have a grasp on reality, right? And
we
how
do
we get a grasp on reality when we have these old books that could be the reality? Like, because the old books are I think the scrolls and all that other shit might be the real truth because all the holy books tie into one story, right?
Yeah, but I the problem I have with that logic, and I respect you're saying it, and hello to Paladin in the chat room. The problem I have with that logic is, let's say that Cynthia wrote a children's book yesterday. Well, Dr. Seuss has been around longer than that, and Mother Goose has been around longer than that, and Grimm's Fables have been around longer than that. And just because that shit is old doesn't mean that it's right. It just means that it's old.
So you don't think like the Hammadi scrolls or the Nag Hammadi scrolls? Or
Bro, do you even listen to this
tablet?
channel? Do you listen to this channel? I've proven to you on this channel, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the Nag Hammadis are false, fraudulent, forged.
So they're not Mary Magdalene scrolls?
Hell
like
no.
the Gnostics say?
Hell no. And you know I'm playing with you,
that's
but no, the Nag Hammadi is complete bullshit. It's false, it's fraudulent, it's forged, and it's proven.
I don't listen to every show.
I'm just ribbing you. I'm just ribbing you.
All right. So you don't think there's any like the Dead Sea Scrolls and all that?
I've proven that the Dead Sea Scrolls are also
the New
false,
Testament,
fraudulent, and forged. I've proven that.
like the New Testament and the Talmud were kind of like manipulations of, to create the control matrix.
So why would we think
live
that
on.
any of those other books were any different?
Well, they used the knowledge of the ancients to create something that was more fallible malleable actually to create a slave system.
Well, you're certainly welcome to have your beliefs, but I don't share them at this point.
I don't believe anything. I'm just a questioner.
Yeah. Well, let's be, and I appreciate that, and let's be just as questioning about the Nag Hammadi. Let's be just as questioning about the Dead Sea Scrolls. Let's be just as questioning about the Old Testament, just as questioning about the New Testament as we are about the Dianetics book. Let's question everything.
That's interesting. So he was, L. Ron Hubbard was touched by entering a portal. Is that what you're thinking?
No, I'm not. Not at all.
I know I haven't gone in depth as you have with L. Ron Hubbard. I just know that Scientology makes more sense than a lot of this Christian shit, and I get it. But at the same time, it just seems like, where did Tom Cruise go wrong?
Well, Tom Cruise went wrong, and I'm not sure if Tom Cruise would think that he's wrong, but Tom Cruise went wrong when he went with the Church of Scientology, which is black Dianetics, and left the original teachings of L. Ron Hubbard, which is white Dianetics. And what people don't understand about Scientology and Dianetics is that L. Ron Hubbard did not invent it. What L. Ron Hubbard did was literally travel the world and study just about every single religion, thought system, belief system that is out there. And he didn't just study with, rookies like me. He studied with the masters. And what Ron did,
right, he was supposed to be the poster boy.
And what Ron did was take the best of all of those different belief systems, take what works, and cobble it together into what I think is the most workable collection of spiritual technologies that are out there. He was a curator, for lack of a better term.
Oh, like Cook from Apple?
No, he just what I said. He took the best of a lot of separate parts and put them together. In my opinion,
wasn't what's his name? The guy from Pulp Fiction. I'm blanking out.
John Travolta.
John Travolta. He was a Scientologist.
He still is.
So why was his wife she was not promoted when it came down to her death. Like, it was just like some hidden thing. She seemed healthy to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's healthy. I think John is healthy. I ate breakfast with John Travolta one morning, and he was a great guy.
Yeah, no, John Travolta is great when he doesn't direct his own movies.
And I've seen, I've had a brief encounter with Tom Cruise, and he was absolutely fantastic in that brief encounter. So from what I know about Tom Cruise, he's a great guy. From what somebody was just saying, Tom is from the Syracuse area, and that's accurate. And they said that Tom has done a lot of great work in Syracuse, and he has a lot of supporters there. And I mean, if the people in your hometown think you're a good guy, you might be. But yeah, I mean, I can't vouch for them. I don't know them personally. I have had the experience
But
with John.
I heard Nicole Kidman divorced Tom Cruise because he was so into the Scientology thing.
Well, I mean,
So
have you ever talked to Nicole Kidman?
Have I ever talked to her?
Yeah,
No.
me neither. So who knows what she did or didn't do?
You know who her dad is, right?
Her dad is one of the foremost psychologists in Australia.
Also, one of the most prominent landowners next to the royal, the queen, the royal family. Man,
Interesting.
What's his name? Kid Man? Come on.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, look into Nicole Kidman's dad. He is a crazy, like he's one of the most prominent landowners of Australia, and there's a connection to the royal family as well, and that name is probably not real.
Yeah, we'll do that. Anything else you got for me before we move on?
No, I was just calling the bullshit.
Hey, man, I really appreciate it. Thanks for giving a call in tonight, and don't let it be the last time.
Hey, no problem. Take care.
And he is dead, as Paladin lets us know. And you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist just like the rest of you. I love this stuff, but I have some sort of a responsibility. You know, we've got 46,000, almost 600 subscribers, and I've had to break with people and not work with people anymore and not bring them on my channel anymore because they play loose and fast with the truth. And this is one of the reasons why I appreciate Paladin. He doesn't just say everything that he hears. And I don't like repeaters. I like reporters. I like people that do their own work. And, well, I heard this, I heard that. Don't say what you heard. Because unless you talk to somebody, unless you have researched it yourself, that's called hearsay. And you're no better than the regime media, whether it's the mainstream media or whether it's the chuckleheads on YouTube. We've got to get better at what we do, and we've got to become more responsible at what we do, because people are coming to us more like they've ever done than they've ever done before. And they're looking for us. And my channel might be the one they land on. The first time they realize, oh man, I'm not getting the truth. Let me see what's going on. And they go on YouTube. They might hit my channel. And I can't have some chucklehead spouting out bullshit that can't be proven. And the people say, these guys are full of shit too. No, we've got a responsibility. And if we're going to call ourselves truth seekers, we got to be truth seekers. And we got to be more than that, truth tellers. You need to make that list. You got to check it twice before you say somebody's naughty, before you say somebody's nice. And that's one of the reasons I appreciate Paladin. And that's one thing that I will not bend on. And some of you don't like me because I don't do shows with a certain person I won't even mention anymore. But he continually spouts unsourced material. And I am not going to put my work on the line because he wants to speak with loose lips. Loose lips sink ships, and mine ain't going down over somebody else's lips. We've got to be better at what we do. We've got to be more responsible at what we do. We're not just a bunch of kooks in their mom's basement talking to 12 people anymore. We're talking to thousands of people around the world. That's why I put a coat on and a collared shirt, because I owe respect to these people. And it's time for us to step up our game. If you're going to get on YouTube, be ready to be on YouTube and to be a responsible journalist. It's late night in the Heartland, and you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty. How'd you like that rant?
That rant?
Yeah, that rant I just did.
Maybe I didn't hear it. I was calling you.
That's okay. What's up, my friend?
The last that I heard, you were just talking to a caller.
Well, what do you got for me tonight? Thanks for calling.
I just heard that you were the caller calling about the Nag Hammadi scrolls,
Right.
and you were talking about how that was bunk,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
I was wondering if you were familiar with Jonathan McTimmy's on YouTube. Have you ever looked at him?
No, I have not.
So his argument, he argues that the Masoretic texts are completely inaccurate translations of the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Have you ever heard of this argument?
I have, and I agree with it.
Yeah, that the Paleo-Hebrew appears to be not only a phonetic text, but also a hieroglyphic text. So it contains far more information than you would find in what we typically read. It's not purely phonetic. That's one of his primary arguments.
Right.
But it's another very interesting channel. I've just found your channel recently, and I find it interesting.
Well,
And,
I'm glad you do.
That's the only reason I call it.
That's important. I appreciate that. What do you find interesting about this channel since you're new to it? Just, in an encapsulated version.
Well, I was wondering earlier. I asked earlier. I was Bertox.
Oh, you're a Bertox.
that's me.
Okay, great. Thank you for
Yeah, I'm
calling.
Bert. But yeah, absolutely. But the question I asked earlier was legitimate, but I didn't realize that you weren't a Christian because you constantly call yourself a Christian whistleblower. Is that right?
I do, and that's, I've gone back and forth on that, but I'm the Christian whistleblower in the sense that Edward Snowden is an NSA whistleblower. He worked for the NSA. I worked in Christianity. He saw bad stuff that he interpreted bad that people needed to know. I saw things that I call cracks in the foundation of big time religion that I think people need to know. So I'm blowing the whistle on Christianity, but I'm not a Christian being a whistleblower. And yeah, I know a lot of people get tripped up on that, but I like the name and I'm probably not going to change it.
I understand. And I totally get it. I grew up with a family that was a bunch of Baptists, and I grew up in a very evangelical Baptist church, and I had lots of questions, and no one wanted to answer those questions.
You want to hear something funny?
What was that?
I'll tell you something funny. The first church that I was licensed with as a minister was called the Evangelical Free Baptist Church.
Yeah, I grew up in one where they televised it, and it was on TV in a major metropolitan area.
That's
and
amazing.
I was even a participant in those events when I was a young child, and I started questioning things. And by 14, I didn't believe in anything.
Yeah.
Either way, I was wondering more about the Scientology. Well, so the question I asked first, and I think you were a little maybe offended. I said, "How can you be Christian and Scientologist at the same time?" But it was totally I thought it was a legit question.
Well,
but
see, I get trolled
I
a lot. I get trolled a lot, and people crash my chat rooms a lot, but they'll never, pick up the phone like you have and called. So I've tried to say, look, I'm not going to take your crap in the chat room unless you're willing to give me crap on the phone. So, and I still need to work on that. I'm a little bit triggered sometimes, but it's a legitimate question, but I'm not a Christian. And I've never been a member of the Church of Scientology either. I discovered the Dianetic teaching of L. Ron Hubbard through a job that I got that turned me from a pretty good salesman into the best salesman. And I said, if he knows what he's doing about this, maybe he knows about more stuff. So I took some other courses, learned some other stuff. I quickly realized that there's a lot of good stuff here, but there's also some stuff that could be dangerous. And I got in touch with a brilliant man over in I think he's in Denmark. His name is Andreas M.B. Gross, and he opened my eyes to the fact that L. Ron Hubbard's work was literally, he was kidnapped and taken over in 1972 by the U.S. deep state, and they corrupted his original teachings, and everything since 1972 on is not what L. Ron Hubbard taught. And it's what I call black Scientology. So now I'm having to take all of the things that I learned and go back and put that all on the shelf and start over again to make sure that I'm with what we would call good tech, start pre-1972 and back. So Dianetics is the most effective thing I've ever seen. It works every single time with every single person, and it will change your life. It'll improve your IQ. It'll make you a superhuman person and it's incredibly, incredibly powerful. And I'm trying to get it out to people in a way that is acceptable.
That's really interesting. And the most that I really know about Scientology is what I've seen on like Joe Rogan. What's the lady's name from King of Queens? You know, her talking about Scientology.
Leah Remini, whose career was over, and she decided, oh shit, my career's over. I can't get on TV. Let me start talking shit.
Right, but do you know who Chick Corea is?
I've heard the name.
He's a piano player. He's maybe one of the greatest jazz piano players. He definitely is.
Yeah, I'm not a jazz guy, unfortunately.
It doesn't matter. He's a classical guy too. It doesn't matter. He's just one of the great piano players ever. But he's a Scientologist, and he never speaks about it. So it's always been interesting.
But the Church of Scientology is very, very, very dangerous. Do not join it. It's a fear and guilt control matrix. You don't want it. Don't join the Church of Scientology. I just want to make sure that we say that.
Well, that makes me wonder. What do you think about like the Essenes or people like those people?
Most
the idea of the Essenes.
If you get out of religious teaching about the Essenes and just go to basic secular historical teaching, most people don't believe that the Essenes even existed, that they were made up. If they did exist, they were a more stringent faction of the scribes and Pharisees, and they were known for adopting male children, and they didn't allow females in their midst if they existed. Connect the dots there, if you will.
Well, I thought so. One of the stories of the Essenes is that they were the most pious, and they just separated from society. Right? That's right. Isn't that one of the stories? That's a
cool story, bruh.
Right, but it's a story, right?
It is a story, and I don't think the Essenes existed.
Most of what we hear is all stories.
I don't think the Essenes ever existed. I think they're made up. From my studies,
I was reading about them recently, but yeah, I don't ascribe to any of these religious. So you don't ascribe to any particular religious ideology either, apparently.
I don't. No, I really don't. I'm here I'm open to all truth, but I'm married to none.
Yeah, I hear you. The one that I'm kind of living with lately is that I think that the Creator is looking at itself through a bunch of different mirrors, and we are just those mirrors.
That's an interesting thought too. That's a little depersonalizing for me, but it's a very interesting thought.
Well, have you ever heard? I'm sure you've looked at the holographic theory.
I have.
Right. Yeah. So we're all the Creator is completely contained within us. We are all. Yeah, you have to, because you say that we're all divine, right?
We're all divine, sovereign, and free.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before, and that resonates with me. We are all, the Creator is contained within us, and the Creator is outside of us and within us.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
How can somebody listen to what we've been talking about and come into the chat room and ask, Jeffrey, are you not an atheist? Mark James LaVey, are you or are you not listening? We believe in a creator. We believe in a divine creator. But I don't believe that your Bible can contain God, with all due respect.
For me, I don't believe that any human is capable of understanding.
Of course not.
What is outside of our understanding. So
of course not. I agree.
We're all speculating. And the best that we can do is not be arrogant pricks and say that we know.
Well, sometimes even if you don't know, you can still be an arrogant prick. I'm told that I am from time to time.
I am too, man. I am too. I think you called me a dummy earlier, but I was asking a question.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. And Mark, you're at the place now where you are done trolling in the chat room. If you have the balls, make the calls, but you can't continue to troll the chat room anymore.
But I've listened to you enough lately to know that it would be interesting to talk to you. Either way, I mean, it was interesting. I will probably call in again. I thought it was interesting to talk to you. But John, the reason I called in was because you were, when I finally called in, you were talking about the Nag Hammadi scrolls with someone else, and you said that they were bunk. And I think that's probably likely too. They're likely forgeries. But there's a guy on YouTube to check out. If you check him out, a lot of people will say that you're an anti-Semite if you believe anything that he says, because he, that just gets thrown around.
What's his name?
What's that?
What's his name?
Jonathan McTemes, MACHTEMES.
MACH.
MACTEMES.
TEMES. I'll check him out.
It's one of the more interesting channels to me. He'll oftentimes read just texts, just read books.
That sounds boring.
They're out there. They're really out there books. Like, have you heard of Anatoly Fomenko and his theory of?
Yes, I have.
Have you heard?
I've read several of his books.
He's read quite a bit of Anatoly Fomenko's books. He reads a lot of stuff. But one of the things that he does not believe that the Masoretic texts are accurately translated. He believes that a lot of information is lost.
Yeah, I'll check him out.
It's interesting, and that's I mean, your channel's parallel, and I totally agree with you in that every person is divine and sovereign. Yeah, I agree with that.
And we're working to get free.
I wasn't trolling you, man.
You weren't trolling, and I apologize for it. I still have to work on that a little bit. I still get a little bit triggered. Man. So yeah, that's we're all a work in progress. And even when you're the best in the world at what you do, you can always be better.
And I understand my handle may not give away that I am not a troll, but I have another YouTube channel that's, where I'm just a musician. But this YouTube channel is where I get to go look at all my esoteric stuff.
All right.
And comments, and my friends don't get to know that I'm interested in things that they think they think I'm crazy for.
Plus, I'm entering into my 24th day of a fast, so I'm maybe a tiny little bit edgy.
Totally understood. I need to fast.
All right, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. That was a great call. That was a great call. It's late night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeffrey. It's Good Dagger. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. What's going on with you?
Oh, no. I had a pretty rough day with my dad today, but then watching your show and then watching a couple other of your videos there turned my day around. So I'm feeling a lot better now. So
that's great to hear. What do you got on your mind tonight?
Well, I watched one of your old videos there, Personal Power, the Master of You, and it really resonated with me, especially the last year or so that I've been through. Like I said, I started off this year with a 30-day fast. I was over 200 pounds. Right now, after doing multi-fasting I've done this past year, I'm down to like 160, 170.
Awesome.
So I got fat and then I got in shape, like you said in the video. And I also resonate with what you said, no matter where you go, there you are. And that's
right.
What happened to me. I moved out west and I was the same person, but I did change a lot over the years. But it didn't matter what happened, how nice I was, positive I was. It seemed, I don't know if it was Ingram's or negativity or what followed me. If it was my blessed cross of my necklace that I have.
Oh, yeah. Well, that isn't helping you. Like I said, that's not helping you.
No, so but anyways, I learned a lot over those 10 years. I did kick myself in the butt, as you said. I got rid of the victim mentality, because after all those long years that I felt that's how I was. And when you mentioned in your video that you were sleep drunk on the floor, and I pretty much had that when after my roommates moved out, they trashed my place, robbed me. So I pretty much hit rock bottom, and I had to fly my mom out to actually help me clean my 3-bedroom townhouse because they trashed it pretty good. So can't get any lower than that. So moved back to Ontario to be closer to my family. My brother just moved back to Canada. He was out working in the embassy in Bangkok for the last 5 years. So
wow,
I get to see my family more often. So after being at rock bottom and kind of building myself up, I'm looking to be positive for this next year moving forward and being a lot more healthier. And I'm hoping to help my dad do that, because today he told me that he thinks he doesn't have much longer, because he's very He's very sick. So, and you know,
Well, we
wasn't
send
sure
our
he
best to him. We
said
send our
that,
best
so
to him.
thank you very much. So I'm hoping Ken sent me out some C60. I'm hoping that'll help him a little bit. So he's in a
Excellent.
lot
Ken
of
is such a
pain,
good
so,
guy. Yeah, get it the
Yeah.
C60 into him. Not too much, but get it into him. I think it'll really, really help.
I hope so. But yeah, so I want to thank you again for all you do and how you keep up the positive work and all the great work. So you've helped me a lot.
Hey, that's what we're here for, and it helps me to hear that. Thanks so much for calling in.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good night. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Wow, that's heart. That touches my heart. That touches my heart. I won't make any jokes about Tracy. That touches my heart. It's excellent, excellent stuff. And man, that's why you do what you do. That's why you do what you do. We only have 10 minutes left. That makes maybe 1 or 2 calls. Just a little wave of emotion passing there. That leaves time for 1 or 2 calls. And I didn't have time to even go to the bathroom. Didn't have to. Haven't had time to do a commercial. But, you know, I do want to remind you of the great people at Focus Life Force Energy. It's one of the reasons why I'm able to do what I do. It sends out a high consciousness field right to where you are, your home and or your phone. And it keeps you grounded when you can't get outside. It is EMF mitigating, and it makes all of the nutrients that you're eating and drinking apply even better to your body. Great for your plants, great for your animals. Focus Life Force Energy. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com. You can get a 30-day trial free, or you can just get a great discount price and jump right in, because you'll never want to be without it. You really won't. And our other great sponsor is Ken at C60 Purple Power. Just go to jeffreydaugherty.com, hit the C60 Purple Power logo. It is amazing, amazing stuff. Somebody's talking about soul groups. I don't know if I buy the whole soul groups thing. I really don't. It seems like a lot of, you know, and I have to share this because it's just on my mind, and it bugs me a little bit. You know, the fluffy bunny new agers, and I love them, but they've got that thing. If you're talking to a fluffy bunny new ager and they don't want to talk or they don't want to explore anymore, they just say, well, that's my truth. It's just my truth. Which means I've got my mind made up and I'm not interested in being confused by any facts. Now, within the truth movement, so-called, truth seekers, so-called, we've now come up with our own corollary to the fluffy bunny, it's my truth statement. Now we've got, well, that's my conviction, or that's my belief. And supposedly, because you say that's my conviction, that means that nobody can show you facts that differ from what you say is your conviction. I think it's silly. Mike King said that he thinks it's childish, and I agree. You're not a real truther unless you continue to be open to and seek truth wherever it may lead you. If you think that you've got your convictions and that's where you're going to stay, you're not a truther, you're a camper. Because a real truther, a real truth seeker, will always be open to new truth. So don't talk to me about your convictions. Don't talk to me about your beliefs. And if you say, well, those are my convictions and they're not subject to debate, I'm going to wish you a nice day, and I'm going to move on to somebody that's open-minded, because that's just the pseudo-truther version of, well, it's my truth. You know what? You can have your truth, but it's possible that your truth might not be the truth. And there might be new truth that you're not aware of, ladies and gentlemen. This is something I've almost never heard before. Kirsten says Jeff is very kind and patient. You know, the last person that said that to me was probably George Norrie. It's been that long. And I try to be, but I don't always appear to be here on the radio or whatever we're on. Lady Justice asked, Jeff, when is your fasting over? I'm just curious. I think we should have you live with Paladin after you've had a meal or two. Not necessary, Lady Justice. You guys can grill me all you want. My fasting will be over, to answer your question, when I get under 190 pounds. I'm not quite there yet. So there you go. But I am, every now and then I have I'm in day 24, and if Cynthia was still awake, she could verify this. But I've had maybe half a day in all those 24 days where I was a little hangry. Today just happened to be one, got a little hangry, a little touchy, but now I've worked through it because I drink the spring water with lemon in it, and it's just amazing. Hannah, those of you that are fasting, spring water, not spring water, but sparkling water, my bad. Sparkling water, and you put a little lemon in it, and make sure that it's not one that has carbs, because some of them will trick you. They got carbs in it, and I'm really, making sure that I don't get any carbs, obviously. So sparkling water, a little bit of lemon, and you have that. It'll take care of you. It'll take care of you, and the hunger will pass if you just hold on a little bit. So, Lady Justice, have no fear. Have no fear. It's really good stuff. I appreciate every single one of you. It's been a great night, and we have been wall-to-wall calls. Silver Eagle, I don't know what you're talking about. My diabetes. I don't have any diabetes, and even if I did, I wouldn't call it my diabetes. So, I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about there. That's kind of silly talk. So, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not giving people advice, and I'm not recommending that people go on long fasts. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And thank you, Lady Justice. I'm looking a lot better, and I feel so much better. I'm also doing my high intensity interval training. I was out today doing a sprint workout, feeling great. I have a heavy bag workout I'll do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do the HIIT training, high intensity interval training, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's just great stuff. And I'm doing more stretching. I'm back to Master Wong. Master Wong, tell me how to do my Tai Chi. I do my Tai Chi. I feel great. Master Wong. If you don't know Master Wong, you need to know Master Wong. And that's not a bad Master Wong impersonation. Folks, I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the phone line. We're going to close down that portion of the phone. It's been a great night. It's been a great week. And I do take metformin every day. So that is helpful with that as well. So, and I don't take it because I have diabetes. I take it as part of a regimen of keeping my insulin suppressed, because insulin is what makes you fat, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all of you that are here. I don't know anybody else that has the guts to make themselves available 2 hours every week, Monday through Friday. Opens the line, says call and say whatever you want. I think I'm the only one that does it. And I think that says something. Please like or dislike the video as is appropriate. It helps drive me through the algorithms and allows this message to get out for more people. And how in the world I can be up 20% in views, up 20% in watch time, and losing subscribers? Only Jeffrey Daugherty could do that, ladies and gentlemen. But that's okay, because we're not here for the subscribers, even though they will come. We're here to get out a message. Paladin in the house, Lady Justice in the house. Great podcasters, great information providers on their own. Paladin White Hat Reports. Make sure you go and subscribe. All of our great moderators. I really can't do this without you, or certainly can't do it as well as we're doing it. Don't you like the new phone system? I thank you. We've had some great super chats. The first 2 months have been paid for. Thank you, Paladin. That's great praise coming from you. Looking forward to be on your channel. Today is, what is it? It's just turned Wednesday, hasn't it? Let me just look real quickly at my schedule and see if we've got anything coming up, because I'm infamous for forgetting about it. No, we had Mike King tonight, Saturday night. I'm with Alex Stein at 10 o'clock on his channel, which is Conspiracy Castle. We do have some other events coming up, some other appearances. But until then, that's all we've got. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I am your mailman. I'm making the deliveries. You got mail. But today, thank you so much. This has been Late Night in the Heartland. And I want to thank each and every one of you for helping make my day.